What is up, guys? This is going to be my synopsis breakdown for Arrow, Season 6, Episode 15, titled Doppelganger, and this is the episode where Roy Harper is coming back for 2 episodes, meaning Episode 15 and 16. It's a 2-parter arc with his return, which I will talk about in a second, but before that, let's read the synopsis. So, the synopsis reads, Roy Harper returns. Oliver and Thea are shocked to hear that Roy Harper is back in Star City. However, when they discover the circumstances of Roy's return, Oliver and Thea realize that Roy is in trouble and jump to save him. Black Siren makes a shocking decision. Roy Harper is back, and I'm pretty sure we've known about this, the fact that Roy Harper is returning, since before the season started. I did make a video about it, when Colton Haynes said that he might return, and then it was officially confirmed a couple months ago. I don't really remember, but it was confirmed by Mark Guggenheim that he is returning for a 2-episode arc, and that means this episode and the next episode. And I really hope he's returning as a series regular next season, because he's not returning this season, but Arrow was renewed for Season 7, so if he is returning for next season, that would be great, because I feel like the show has been missing him. He's one of the most essential characters in the Green Arrow universe, and he was not around for Season 5 at all. He was in one episode in Season 4, and I feel like that episode was handled pretty poorly, but Season 5, he wasn't in at all, which was one of the biggest problems with Season 5, which is saying a lot about Season 5. But Roy Harper not being around kind of sucked. He was, just like Wally West on The Flash, he was given the short end of the stick in terms of a character. I'm not talking about the actor because he chose to leave, but the character himself. And it's not the writer's fault either. It's the actor who wanted to leave the show for 3 years, only to make returns here and there. But it's because the character himself was given the short end of the stick. He was one of my favorite characters on Arrow, and then he just left, which really sucks. So him being back is awesome. I just really hope he's back for longer than 2 episodes, and he returns as a series regular next season. So the synopsis, how the synopsis phrases Roy Harper's return to Star City, it sounds really similar to his return in Season 4. Back then, I think he was forced to return by the Calculator, Felicity's father. It was a pretty forgettable season, although it probably was one of the best episodes of the season. It's not really saying much. It was still a pretty bad episode and really forgettable, so all I remember is that the Calculator forced him to return, because if he didn't, he was going to out him to the public as not the Arrow, I think. I'm not really sure. But this is fairly similar when his return to Star City and the circumstances of this return make Oliver and Thea jump in to save him. It's very similar. There's definitely another thing to it. There's definitely going to be another reason he's returning other than he's forced to return. It's definitely something else, because they wouldn't really reuse the same storyline like that, although they might, because they do reuse storylines ever so often, and they probably wrote themselves into a hole where they couldn't think of a way for Roy Harper to return, which he has to be forced again, and then the circumstances of his return caused Team Arrow to help him. It is way too similar for comfort, but hopefully that's just the synopsis being a little misleading, as synopses are on occasion. Hopefully it's hiding the real storyline, which would be a spoiler in the synopsis. Hopefully that's the only way they could. I mean, it's already interesting, but it's so similar that this has to not be the same thing. There's really no way, unless if they really are reusing a storyline, which would kind of suck, because it wasn't really great. It wasn't that great in Season 4, and Season 6 it's better than Season 4, but it's not great or anything. So I don't know if Season 6 can pull it off. I'm guessing that this episode will probably be really good, but this is too similar to Season 4 for comfort. And the synopsis ends saying that Black Siren makes a shocking decision. So I'm not 100% sure what this decision is, but I'm guessing it won't be shocking. I'm guessing it will be a decision that has been confirmed by the showrunners a while back, or at least hinted at, and they said they wanted to do it, and they probably will do it. And it's been hinted at over and over again this season, and it's been set up a lot this season. And what I'm talking about is the redemption arc for Black Siren, and this big shocking, or quote-unquote shocking decision will be her turning to the good side, or at least deciding to be a superhero or something like that. It won't be shocking, that's for sure, but it is something that I really wanted to see in the back half of Season 6. I did make a video about it a while back, and I made a top 5 video. I think it was number 5 or 4. It was something I wanted to see. After she killed Vigilante, it was a little unbelievable that it will happen, but ever since then, the hints that we've been getting, it makes me think that, yeah, she still is capable of a redemption, and this is probably the episode that we're getting it. With the team divided, there is no Black Canary on Team Arrow, so Black Siren can definitely fill that hole, and I think she probably will in episode 16. In this episode, however, she will make a shocking decision, which will probably be to stop being a bad guy and start being a superhero. Although the world usually isn't that simple, and a redemption arc would usually take longer to get used to, so I'm guessing that she probably won't join Team Arrow in the next episode, but later this season, but will start becoming a hero this episode. That's really the only shocking decision that I can think of, other than like maybe going to live with Quentin, which also might be a possibility. The title of this episode might give something away about the episode. The title is Doppelganger, and yeah, Black Siren is a doppelganger. She's the only doppelganger on the show, so that's probably what this title is referring to, but it's a little weird how the title of the episode is referring to the side plot, especially when the main plot is so interesting with Roy Harper returning. It would be a little weird, although pretty probable. And this whole doppelganger thing is Black Siren becoming her doppelganger, which what I just said about her redemption arc and her living with Quentin, it's 100% possible. Her adopting the Black Canary moniker and maybe even becoming Laura Lance of Earth 1 and saying that, hey, I'm alive, or something like that. But it's not more likely, but it's a lot, it'll make more sense if this is referring to the main story of the episode, Roy Harper's return, because it is the main story of the episode, and it's probably a lot more interesting than the side plot. I'm not saying the side plot is going to be uninteresting, but come on, Roy Harper is returning. Arsenal is back, so it doesn't make sense to me that the title of the episode is referring to the side plot when the main plot is this interesting. No. So, with that in mind, how does the Doppelganger title refer to the main plot of the storyline as it should? Well, the only possibility is that we see Roy Harper's doppelganger from any other Earth 2, 3, 4, 5, 38, 19, 53, any of them. Well, there is no 53, it's Earth X, apparently, but we can see any of those doppelgangers. It doesn't sound that great in my head, actually, but it is a way to get him back to Star City. Maybe that's the circumstances of his return, where his doppelganger is trying to take over his life. I don't really know. In my head, it sounded better. Saying it out loud now, this title will almost definitely refer to the side plot with Black Siren, and it would make a lot more sense. Despite it being the side plot, it just makes more sense. She is a doppelganger. This shocking decision might be becoming her doppelganger. It makes a lot more sense, but it is still a possibility, if the title is referring to the main plot, that we are seeing one of Roy Harper's doppelgangers in this episode. Regardless, though, I am extremely excited for this episode because it looks to be a really good episode. First of all, the side plot, it looks to be really interesting, with Black Siren becoming Black Canary, probably staying Black Siren but becoming a good guy with the redemption arc, becoming her doppelganger, which is probably what the title is referring to, but also because Arsenal is returning. But not really also, but mainly because Arsenal is returning. He is the character I want to return the most out of all the Arrowverse characters that have been missing, and I feel like he will probably make a great return. Like I said, I really want him to return as a main character because, I mean, there is room on Team Arrow currently, and he's the #1 character other than Black Canary that belongs on Team Arrow. Well, #3 character after Green Arrow and Black Canary, but he is #3 above everyone else. The fact that he is in there, other than these small things in Season 4 and Season 6, is really annoying. So hopefully he returns for a longer period of time in the next season. But I'm extremely excited for this episode. Let me know what you think about this synopsis, and are you excited for this episode in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.